Well, that escalated quickly. Let's rewind a bit, shall we? Back to the delightful town of Sunnyvale, where the golden summer sun played hide and seek with fluffy white clouds. The boardwalk gleamed like a well-polished mirror, inviting everyone to skip their way into a fun-filled afternoon. Cotton candy stalls lured passers-by with sugary clouds of pink and blue. The sweet scent of lemonade mingled with the salty tang of the nearby ocean, where seagulls squawked merrily from atop the brightly colored buoys bobbing in the waves. In the midst of this enchanting scene stood Ellie Summers, a whirlwind of messy brown curls and infectious laughter. Her eyes, the color of the summer sky, sparkled with mischief as she raced along the boardwalk, clutching a dripping ice cream cone. Behind her, struggling to keep up, was her best friend, Max Turner, a bespectacled boy whose nose was permanently smudged with the remnants of 1,000 snacks. His gaze was fixed on his tablet, frantically swiping as he muttered, "Almost level, almost got it." Suddenly, Ellie slammed on the brakes, nearly colliding with an old woman selling balloons. In her haste, she hadn't noticed a thick golden envelope lying on the ground. Taking a closer look, she saw the words "Midnight Calls You" written in fancy cursive. Curiosity piqued, she tore it open, ignoring Max's protests about ruining a perfectly good prank. Inside, scrunched up to conserve space, was a single line: "Ride the Midnight Ferris. Come at midnight. Don't come alone." Rolling her eyes at the obvious mystery, Ellie continued on her way, strolling towards the Sunnyvale Library, a grand old building with more nooks and crannies than any other structure in town. It smelled of aging paper and quiet contemplation, which was why it was the perfect place to solve a cryptic riddle. Mrs. Willow, the librarian, greeted them with a warm smile. Despite her age, her eyes twinkled with youthful enthusiasm. After Ellie explained their predicament, Mrs. Willow led them to a dusty old book, its pages filled with arcane symbols and faded ink. With a knowing look, she pointed to an entry for Midnight Ferris Wheel, which detailed the wheel's ability to transport riders through time. It also warned of the wheel's capricious nature and the risk of becoming trapped in one's own personal time loop. Despite the warning, Ellie couldn't resist the allure of time travel. As dusk settled over Sunnyvale, painting the sky in hues of orange and violet, Ellie and Max crept towards the deserted carnival grounds. The Ferris wheel loomed before them, its rusty frame silhouetted against the darkening sky. An uneasy silence fell over them. Just as they were about to give up hope, a tall figure emerged from the shadows. It was Mr. Grayson, the carnival owner, his face hidden behind a wide-brimmed hat. He looked like a man who hadn't seen a smile in many years. When he learned of their mission, a faint smile touched his lips. "Very well," he said, his voice raspy with disuse. "But be warned, the Ferris wheel is a fickle thing. It offers glimpses into our deepest desires, but it feeds on our regrets. If you choose to stay in those moments, you may never return." Ellie and Max exchanged a worried glance, but their determination didn't waver. They climbed into one of the gondolas, and with a creak, the Ferris wheel began to turn. As they ascended, the world shrunk beneath them until all they could see was the twinkling lights of Sunnyvale and the endless expanse of the sea. Then everything shifted. Ellie found herself in her backyard, laughing as she opened presents on her 7th birthday. The pain of losing her mother in a car accident years ago was a fresh wound in her heart. Beside her, Max relived his own personal hell, the day his sister disappeared, leaving him to navigate the treacherous waters of grief and self-blame alone. But just as their despair threatened to consume them, Ellie reached out and grabbed Max's hand. Their shared sadness had forged a bond between them that no temporal anomaly could break. In that moment, they realized that their friendship was their greatest treasure, a constant amidst the chaos of their lives. With renewed determination, they decided to return to the present, to the messy, complicated reality where at least they had each other. Back on the Ferris wheel, they watched as the familiar sights of the carnival came into view. The Ferris wheel lurched to a halt, depositing them back on solid ground. Hand in hand, they stumbled off the wheel and watched as the ghostly glow of the midnight Ferris vanished into the morning mist. As the first rays of sunlight touched the horizon, Ellie and Max walked along the beach, their steps lighter, their hearts a little less heavy. They knew that while time might twist and turn in mysterious ways, the bonds of friendship were unbreakable.